You won't believe what I just saw. I was just out here outside relaxing, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I saw this. It is a bug that looks like a piece of wood. And the only reason I saw it and noticed it is because it was just here on this stone. If it was on a tree, I doubt I would have even noticed it was there. To show you how much it looks like just a piece of wood here, I'll put this next to it, and you can just see that it would be very camouflaged if it was just on a tree. And that's the whole purpose. It's created to be camouflaged so that it can protect itself. It made me think of something. I thought to myself, isn't it interesting that there are so many people out there professing the name of Christ, calling themselves Christians, but really they are so camouflaged in this world. They look exactly like this world and they are indistinguishable from this world. It reminded me of a passage in 1 John chapter 2. It says, starting at verse 15, "Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the desires of the flesh and the desires of the eyes and the pride of life, is not from the Father, but is from the world. And the world is passing away along with its desires, but whoever does the will of God abides forever." It's very interesting, isn't it? There's a difference between being in Christ and being in the world. Now, this doesn't mean that we hate the world. It doesn't mean that the world is evil. Yes, the world has fallen. It's broken because of the sin of man, but it's God's creation and there's much beauty. There's much that we can enjoy. But what this is talking about is that if we are choosing to align ourselves with the world and we love the world's systems, the world's way of doing things, as opposed to God's ways, which are in contrast to this, then the love of God is not in us. We don't know him. So the question we would ask ourselves is, how different do we look to the world? When you think of how you spend your time, do you spend your time in the same way that the world spends its time? Do you spend your money in the same way that the world spends its money? What are the things that you think about most? What about when temptation comes your way, or when you're put in a position where you're under pressure? Do you manifest Christ-likeness? Does that flow from you? Or do you react just the same way as the world? Selfish, angry, bitter, resentful, all of these things. That's what I would ask you. How different are you to this world? Would you say that you were more like a dead stick, a piece of dead wood, just like this world, dark, falling apart, no life in it, no spiritual life? Or would you say that you are more like this grass, which is growing and it has life flowing through it, and it's flourishing because its roots are connected into the soil? Are you connected to Christ? Are you abiding in Christ? And as a result of that, his life and his power flowing in and through you, living a sanctified life, pursuing holiness and righteousness and denying the flesh? Or are you someone that is living for yourself and living for the pleasures of this world? It's a very challenging question, but I would ask you to consider it. Each of us should be a light in this world, and we should be so different to this world that we stand out and we point people to God. So let us challenge ourselves and ask ourselves the question, what are the things in our lives that we need to do to align ourselves more with Christ and to shine his light in this world? Those of us who love Christ, let us draw closer to him, let us have his way in us, and let him transform us. Pray this message has blessed you. Talk to you soon, friends. God bless you.